All right, day 5 already. Hope you're still sticking with this. Today we're going to be talking about arpeggiating chord shapes. And I think this is a really important skill. I mean, if you're a fan, as I am, of people like Johnny Marr or Peter Buck, it's such a big part of their kind of sound. And it's actually quite a challenging thing to do well. For me, this is just as tricky as shredding through single note scales, and that it's more obviously kind of a flashy thing, but actually accurately playing arpeggio parts is something that's well worth working on. So I've got a little exercise or study for you. Let me just play it through for you, and then I'll explain what's going on. So we've got this. Arpeggiated pattern, and the first chord is this. It's a C power chord, and then we've got a couple of open strings as well. So we're fretting the C root note here, so fret 3, 5, 5, and then a couple of open strings. The important thing here is the picking pattern. I'm using all alternate picking, and it goes like this. We've got starting off with 5, 3, 4, so that's something that's recurring throughout the pattern. So 5, 3, 4, then we're playing the open second string, 5, 3, 4 again, and the open top string, 5, 3, 4, second string again, and then finally 5, 3, 4, and an extra 3 on the end. So I hope that makes sense. It's a bit difficult to explain this stuff. It's going to be tabbed out on my Patreon page. Sometimes it's easier just to see this stuff written down, but that's our pattern. So as I said, all alternate picking here, and I'm feeling this as all 16th notes. So 1 E and a 2 E and a. And just trying to be as even and as accurate as possible. You might like to start much slower than that, just to get each of those notes picked nice and cleanly, and then gradually speed up. It's one of these patterns you just need to get memorized and get into the muscle memory, and then it can start flowing. And then once you can do that, you can just take it round a simple chord progression. And all I was doing is changing the first note, the root note of each of these chords. So I started with this, lifting up my first finger to change the bass note to an A. And then I'm changing the bass note to low E. And that's obviously changing the picking pattern slightly, so I'm coming down to the low E instead of playing the 5th string with that pattern. Finally, I'm playing the 3rd fret on the low E string for the final chord in this 4-chord loop. So it is quite a challenging picking pattern. We're sort of bouncing about across all of the strings, and just being able to find those strings accurately without looking down at your picking hand all the time can be quite a challenge. So if I put all of that together, we've got So that's it. Quite a challenging little exercise, I think, this one. So take it slowly. You might just want to work on that first chord and get the pattern together with that alone before expanding it to the entire progression. That's it for now. I'll see you tomorrow for day 6.